Hi, this is Ernie and hi. Join us for an exciting trip to the sub-artic region of Churchill, North Canada for a face-to-face encounter with the largest carnivore land mammal, the polar bear, Lord of the Arctic. The only means to get to the remote northern town of Churchill is by plane or train because the land topography is permafrost. We will start our journey in the city of Winnipeg, which is 625 miles south of Churchill. It takes only 2.5 hours by plane for $1,500 a round trip depending on the season. The train is cheaper at $400 round trip but takes 2.5 days of travel. In our first trip to Churchill in November 2013, we took the plane. This time around, we took the train and saved $1,000 and at the same time enjoyed the beautiful landscape and scenery of Manitoba province.
Okay, take care.
On our arrival in Churchill, we were picked up by the service bus of the CNSC and traveled along the western shores of the Hudson Bay to our lodge, which is about 23 kilometers east of town and the train station, taking at least 30 minutes. Well, here we are at the bear country. We will pose with our security person for souvenir photo. She's not guarding us from terrorists, but from curious bears that might stray in our direction. She also doubles as the bookkeeper of this CNSC facility.
There you go. Okay.
Just like in an African safari, we have to stay in the protective confines of the special Tundra vehicle, high enough that even the tallest and largest bear cannot reach. It has wide windows for photography and a platform deck at the rear for better viewing and photography. Note the enormously wide tires to protect the fragile tundra ground and also to prevent from being stuck in the mud.
Yeah, it's about 10%. I was gonna say, one.
Okay, here goes.
I think we got the show here.
Oh, get it down. Video.
What we will be seeing in the following video clips are bears roaming around the shores, anxiously waiting for the bay to freeze and form sea ice so they can take off and start hunting for seals, since they have not eaten for at least 3 months. Polar Polar bears are the fattest and largest carnivore land mammals as well as maritime mammals on Earth. They are the largest terrestrial predators. Since they spend most of their time at sea, they have been called sea bears. Adult bears can weigh up to 1,700 pounds, and when they are standing on their hind legs, they can be as tall as 11 feet. Although they are fat and bulky, they are flexible and agile. They can run up to 25 miles per hour, but for short distances only, as they tend to overheat. Chasing a seal or running or after a sparring and wrestling activity, they could overheat to a feverish 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So they cool down by lying on the snow or ice or munch some snowflakes, as you can see here, or they may roll their body on the ice or snow or on the grass and raise their legs so they can cool down. They are well insulated from the frigid weather with their thick double-layer fur coat, 15 centimeters thick, and a thick fat blubber under their skin, 4 inches thick. The paws are flat and wide to facilitate swimming. The claws are thick, long, and curved, measuring 5 centimeters. The black foot pads are covered with bumpy papillae, a non-slip surface to grip the slippery ice. Polar bears have a remarkable keen sense of smell, more than any other animal. They also use their nose to orient themselves in the environment. They can pick up the scent of a seal some 30 kilometers away. They can also identify the sex, even the age of the bear, from the tracks on the ground. During the mating season in spring, they would follow and track down the footprints of a female bear even for miles away. Like humans, polar bears have a plantigrade stance, as you can see from the video clip. They walk on the soles of their feet with their heels touching the ground first. They stand on their hind feet and walk upright for a short distance with a steady lumbering gait. Polar bears communicate by body language or posturing. Note the bear on the left side opening his mouth and jaw wide open in front of the other bear, showing his dominance, whereas the bear on the right shows his subordination and respect by sitting down and looking away. On the next clip of the video, you can see a bear running away from the group of bears as he knows that he is not welcome. Most often, they relay information by gaping or jawing, by opening their mouth and jaw in close proximity with another bear he is trying to impress. When the bear stands up, means he wants to play, but if the other bear sits down, means he doesn't want to play, as you can see from the succeeding video.
They were over there sparring, so he's gone back to
Polar bears are intelligent and curious mammals. Watch them survey and investigate our Tundra buggy and try to climb our vehicle. Luckily, they don't jump, otherwise we are in trouble. Churchill is the polar bear capital of the world. 66% of the polar bear population in the world congregates in these western shores of the Hudson Bay and the town of Churchill, starting in late fall and early winter, anxiously waiting for the bay to freeze and the sea ice to form so that they can start hunting for seals, their main prey and bulk of their diet. Bears are intelligent enough to know that these western shores of the bay freezes early compared to the more northern region because of the counter current of the Hudson Bay that hits the elbow of the Churchill River, and the fresh water from the Churchill River then mixes with the Atlantic salt water. Ice is then formed early because of the fresh water. The bears knows this pattern of freezing, and so the reason for their congregating in this area. However, this year the freeze is coming in late, so that it would explain the unusual increase in the number of bears gathering around the shore at this time. So let us see what these bears are doing now.
Males that are just over the willows are starting to kind of wrestle and play. You might see them starting to stand up and spar too.
Yeah.
So I take pictures of that kind of thing too.
If the bears are not busy looking for food, the young adults keep themselves busy by frolicking, sparring, wrestling, or play fight to tone up their fighting skills to challenge the alpha male when mating season comes. The mother bears are constantly watching their cubs, even though some of them are already all grown up at 2 to 3 years, and wards off any male bear that might intrude or harm them. Polar bears sleep 7 to 8 hours a day like humans and take frequent naps too. During summer, they sleep more during the day, and in the winter, they can be more active at night if there are seals around, which are more active during the night. After a fatty meal of a seal, they get lethargic and may fall asleep for as long as 1 to 2 hours. They build a shelter den or pit like this fellow here, who is trying to make a pit for him to lie down for a nap. They can go to sleep at any time, at any place, at any position, like what is being shown here on the images. By this time of the year in November, these bears are now probably very hungry as they have not eaten a good meal for the last 3 to 4 months. In the meantime, we see them foraging for whatever food they can eat on the shores, such as kelp or other seaweeds or other vegetation. They can catch some fish or some waterfowl if they are lucky. Sometimes they could catch a reindeer at times. Some goes to the boreal forest where they can eat some berries or other fruits, roots, vegetation, birds' eggs or rodents. Some may wander into the town of Churchill to forage human garbage. They rarely drink water. They get their water from the metabolic breakdown of the food they eat. By autumn, most bears start gathering and linger near the shores of the bay, anxiously waiting for it to freeze and form sea ice so they can go hunting. Meanwhile, the pregnant polar bears start digging their maternity den by late autumn. They enter their maternity den in October or November. They deliver their cubs in December or January. As you can see, they dig snow caves or tunnels up to 5 meters. The newborn cubs are very tiny, weighing only 1/2 kilogram, but they grow fast with the rich, fatty, but nutritious milk of mama bear, reaching up to 10 kilograms by springtime. The cubs are weaned after 24 months, although some may continue to breastfeed up to 30 months. Like humans, they are very affectionate and protective of their cubs. They would chase away any intruder that might potentially harm their cubs. Let's take a helicopter ride to get an aerial view of the uniquely beautiful and immense Tundra, a vast treeless plain in this sub-artic region with diverse landscape surrounding Churchill. Note the Swiss cheese topography of the land, the water pools that are now frozen, and the mini lakes. A freezing of the bay and sea ice formation appears to be late in coming, as it is now the second week of November and the bay is still not frozen. This probably explains the unusual increase in the gathering of polar bears along the shores at this time. But we are not complaining, as this coincidence gets us to view more of these magnificent white bears. This Churchill Northern Studies Center, or CNSC, facility is a remarkable building. Its design and construction is certified as environmentally responsible, resource efficient, and sustainable. Its design incorporates composting toilets, low fixtures, on-site waste treatment, and septic tank that minimize the amount of water and sewage that needs to be hauled from the building. It is a self-contained living unit, complete with a sleeping accommodation for 8 persons. This facility is a non-profit field station that promotes and facilitates northern research and education.
Exercise room.
Yep. It's like a rating for
but with the sea ice, it can actually respond in kind and.
I'd like to incorporate and show our first visit to Churchill in November 2013. At that time, we took the plane from Winnipeg. When we arrived, we were met with a snow blizzard. At that time, we stayed at the mobile Tundra Lodge train. Here's a look inside. It was comfortable and the meals were excellent. Perhaps one advantage of staying in this outdoor setup is that you might see some bears hovering around the mobile Tundra Lodge during the day and even at night, as you can see here in these video clips. After an intense activity, they could overheat to a feverish 100 degrees Fahrenheit. They had to lie down and roll on the snow for a while to cool off. Compared to our recent visit this year, the bay here is frozen and sea ice is formed. So most of the bears have left the shores and onto the frozen bay and sea ice. It was interesting to see them from the helicopter. Seals are the major food item of bears because they have a high body fat content of up to 45%. A 120-pound seal can provide 8 days worth of energy.
We always like to try to surprise people with a little bit more. Oh, look at this guy coming in. Hey, the guy over here is coming in.
There he is, way at the end.
A sundog is an optical phenomenon of a rainbow-like halo caused by sunlight refracted from the ice crystals in the clouds or atmosphere. The ice crystals act as prism.
You asked him, are they ready?
Are you ready? Yes. All right, good boy.
Okay, let's
Okay, let's go. Let's go, let's go.
There you go.
Go
Hey,
on.
hey. Let's go. Hey, hey again. Straight on there now. Straight on. Yeah, let's
Straight
go.
on.
Oh,
Come on.
get behind the other team now. Let's go now. Never mind.
Move on.
Come on, lady.
Come on, come on, let's go.
Come on, lady.
Let's go, let's go.
Try me,
Straight on.
Oh, she don't want to run.
Woohoo.
You don't want to gallop.
We were lucky to see and photograph this herd of moose from the helicopter. They are the largest of all deer species. The Arctic fox is the smallest in the fox family, weighing only 6 to 10 pounds and measures 18 to 36 inches. Their fur is so thick and dense to survive the frigid temperature as low as minus 70 degrees Celsius. In contrast to the red fox, which is the largest of the 4 fox species in Canada, they are larger and physically dominant to the Arctic fox. They are also omnivorous, like the Arctic fox. Arctic hare are also called polar rabbit, though bigger than the typical rabbit that we know. They are a kind of hare that lives in the Arctic tundra. Snowy owl are Arctic owls, as they are native of this tundra Arctic region, one of the largest species of owl and only one with white plumage. This white stout bird resembles chicken. As such, it is also known as a snow chicken. Their plumage changes with the season from a dazzling snow white during winter to a combination of brown, gray, white, and speckled, blending with the ground and in harmony with the dominating color of the landscape as a camouflage against predators.
Manual, not auto. How about your camera? My camera? Where?
Keep going.
Huh?
I got it. Just
Okay. Are you getting it?
yeah.
Okay.
Don't back up.
You guys are next to here? Yeah.
Hi, Casper! Easy, Milo. Milo! Pick it up, Caspi! Hike, 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 on mine! On mine! On mine! On mine! Hike, hike, tuna! Easy now, Casper. Go! On mine! On mine! On mine! On mine! They're there.
this last round of the dog sledding, we bring to a close this video program of our travel adventure. We thank the Churchill Northern Studies Center, their staff, and lecturers for their services. The program was very informative and educational. We learned a lot of the ecology of this area and the lords of the Arctic. It was truly a valuable learning vacation.